Ever wonder what happens when family drama spills into the courtroom? Well, you're about to find out, and trust me, it gets messy. We've got a wife, a husband who's left her for his girlfriend, and a mother-in-law caught right in the middle. The wife, Miss Cole, is suing her mother-in-law. Why? She claims the mother-in-law filed a baseless protective order against her, forcing her to hire a lawyer. Now, she wants her mother-in-law to pay those legal fees. Sounds simple, right? Oh, just wait, let's set the scene. Miss Cole and the defendant's son were married for 18 years and have 3 kids together. But in June, he packed his bags and left to be with his new girlfriend. Classic story, but here's where the money trail begins. There's a child support agreement in place for about $1,400 a month. The husband was supposed to pay this, but things got a little sporadic. In July, he only paid $800. Then in August, something strange happened. The husband handed his wife a check for the full $1,400, but it wasn't from him. It was written by his mother, the very woman now sitting in the defendant's chair. The wife says she never spoke to her mother-in-law about it. The mother-in-law, when asked, can't even recall writing the check. Suspicious. The judge isn't buying it and takes the wife's word for it. Score 1 for the plaintiff, but the plot thickens. At the end of August, the wife gets an alert from the bank. Her husband withdrew over $1,400 from their joint account, an account their lawyers specifically told them not to touch. Why would he do that? He claims he was worried she'd spend all the money, so he took what he thought was his half. But what money was even in there? The account was empty when he left in June. It turns out a tax refund of nearly $6,000 had just been deposited into that account in early August. So, just a couple of weeks after this big deposit, the husband swoops in and takes a chunk of it. He says he took half of what was mine, but was it really half? And did he have the right to touch it at all, especially after their lawyers told them hands off? This is exactly the kind of financial mess that tears families apart. So we have a husband playing fast and loose with child support, a mother-in-law writing mysterious checks she can't remember, and a shared bank account that became a financial battleground. All of this chaos is the backdrop for the protective order, the wife claims. The order was just a tactic. A way for the mother-in-law to get involved and cause more trouble. The mother-in-law insists she had a valid reason to fear for her safety. What do you think is really going on here? Is the mother-in-law genuinely scared, or is she just meddling in her son's messy divorce? Is the husband using his mom to fight his battles? And most importantly, who is telling the truth? The judge has to unravel this tangled web of family ties and financial disputes to figure out if that protective order was legitimate or just a weapon in a bitter separation. Every detail matters. The sporadic payments, the check from the mother-in-law, the secret withdrawal from the joint account, it all paints a picture of a family in crisis where trust has completely broken down. The judge is trying to follow the money and the motives to get to the bottom of it all. It's a classic case of he said, she said, but with bank statements and legal agreements thrown into the mix. This isn't just about the $1,400 for a lawyer, it's about accountability. It's about one family member allegedly using the legal system to harass another. If the judge finds that the mother-in-law had no good reason to file that order, she could be on the hook for the full amount. But if she can prove her fears were justified, the wife will walk away with nothing. The tension in that courtroom is something else. You can see the history, the anger, and the hurt on everyone's faces. The judge has to cut through all that emotion and stick to the facts. Who paid what? Who withdrew what? And who said what to whom? It's a puzzle, and every piece of testimony is a clue. So, who do you believe? The wife who feels she's being financially squeezed and legally harassed? Or the mother-in-law who claims she was just trying to protect herself? Let me know your verdict in the comments below. This is one of those cases where there is more going on beneath the surface than what you see at first glance. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into these incredible courtroom showdowns. Thanks for watching.